Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This lecture is for BBA 2. The subject is Principles of Microeconomics. This is our lecture number 12, which is delivered by Ms. Zahra Arif. In this lecture, we will continue our previous topic, that is utility and indifference curve. The contents of this lecture are introduction, utility, marginal utility, indifference curve, marginal rate of substitution, diminishing marginal rate of substitution and utility, and the numerical examples. First of all, we need to know that what is an indifference curve and what is marginal rate of substitution. Indifference curve. An indifference curve is a curve which shows different combinations of two products that gives a consumer an equal level of satisfaction. Moving forward, we will see that what is economic good. In the utility function, the x are assumed to be goods, and remember that more is preferred to less. Look at the example at the figure. We have taken quantity of x on x-axis and quantity of y on y-axis. So the x star and y star, this is a combination of both goods. Above this point, every point above this point would be preferred. So the line zone, the zone which is colored with the lines, the white one zone, that is preferred to x star and y star, because in this we will get more of both x and more of both y. Whereas all the points below x star and y star would be worse. We will not prefer those, because in that zone we will get less of both product x star and y star. Now the question arises that where these question mark areas lies, because in one we will get more of y and less of x, and in the other one we will get more of x and less of y. So it means that we have to choose between the goods. We have to choose one and we have to sacrifice the other. So it means that there would be a trade-off between two goods x and y. If we want to get one commodity, we have to forego the other commodity. From here we get the concept of indifference curve. So again, an indifference curve is a curve which shows all combinations of two goods which gives a consumer an equal level of satisfaction. Now look at this graph, x1 y1 and x2 y2. These are two different combinations. We can choose alternative combination in which will give same net utility or satisfaction. It means that either you get x1 or y1 or you get x2 or y2, because they are on the same indifference curve. So with the help of indifference curve definition, we get to know that these will yield an equal level of satisfaction. So you can have either x1 y1 or x2 y2. It's all your choice. Now the next concept is marginal rate of substitution. The negative slope of an indifference curve at any point is known as marginal rate of substitution. Means how much one quantity we have to sacrifice or trade it to get one or more of other commodity. This is known as marginal rate of substitution. Means how much we are sacrificing to get more of another commodity. So that is marginal rate of substitution. So we can write it as marginal rate of substitution is equals to minus dy by dx, that we are taking the differential of y with respect to x. One more thing that we see that this indifference curve is downward sloping. It is a negatively sloped because it shows the negative relationship between two products. If we are getting more of one commodity, so we are foregoing something of another commodity, right? So we are sacrificing something of other commodity. So that is why there is an inverse relationship between two products. And this formula is minus dy over dx. So we can say it in maths term that this is the slope of formula, which is rise over run. Rise over run. The vertical axis, the y-axis shows the rise and the x-axis shows run. Marginal rate of substitution. Marginal rate of substitution changes as x and y changes. It reflects the individual's willingness to trade y for x. Now, look at the graph. At x1, the indifference curve is steeper. The person would be willing to give up more y to gain additional of x. Look, he is giving more of y to get additional unit of x. And at x2, y2, the indifference curve is flatter. The person would be willing to give less y to gain additional unit of x. When it is steeper, so they are willing to give up more of y. And when this is flatter, then they are willing to give up more of x. Remember this point. This is an important point for the MCQs as well. So again, when the indifference curve is steeper, they are willing to give more of y. And when the indifference curve is flatter, they are willing to give more of x. Indifference curve map. Each point must have an indifference curve through it. Any point, that is x1, y1, x2, y2, x star, y star, any point will give an indifference curve. Now, remember that higher the indifference curve, higher the level of satisfaction. Lower the indifference curve, lower the level of satisfaction. So here we can see that the U3 is the higher one. So the U3 is greater than U, or you can say that U2 is greater than U1. U3 is greater than U1 as well as U2. Right? Next. Now, remember that the indifference curves can never intersect. There is a question that can any two of the individual indifference curves intersect? No. Indifference curve can never intersect. This is the question that can be asked to you, that do indifference curve intersect? So you need to answer this. No, they cannot intersect. So we can prove it. Look, let us prove it with the help by intersecting two indifference curves. From here, as we know that any point on the indifference curve will yield same level of satisfaction. So from this we can say that the point A and C yield a same level of satisfaction. Point B and C also yield a same level of satisfaction. So using the transitivity property, it suggests that A and B should also yield same level of satisfaction. But in reality, when we look at the graph, we see that the B is on the higher indifference curve. The B is on the higher indifference curve. So from B we get more utility than from point A. So we conclude that the indifference curve can never intersect. This is the transitivity property. Second property is convexity. What is convexity? It says that a set of points is convex if any 2 points can be joined by a straight line that is contained completely within the set. Look, we have joined 2 points of the indifference curve by a straight line. Now every point of the indifference curve between these lines is below this line, right? The assumption of diminishing marginal utility is equivalent to the assumption that all combinations of x and y which are preferred to x star and y star form a convex set. Means it say that x star and y star, other than this, if you will take any point, it will be beyond the indifference curve. It will be greater, it would be preferred. So any point you will take, it would be preferred. This is the convexity property. If the indifference curve is convex, then the combination x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2 will be preferred to either x1 y1 and x2 y2. Look at this indifference curve. So it says that we have a point x1 y1 and we have a point x2 y2. By using this, we plotted our indifference curves which yield the utility as u1. So taking the midpoint, that is y1 plus y2 over 2 and x1 plus x2 over 2, these midpoints will yield a new point, and this new point would be always preferable than the original point. This midpoint, the point got by using the midpoints would be preferable from the original points. So this also proved the convexity. So this implies that well-balanced bundles are preferred to bundles that are heavily weighted towards one commodity. Utility and the marginal rate of substitution. Suppose an individual preferences for hamburgers and soft drink can be represented by utility is equal to 10 is equal to xy. So what we will do, we will solve it for y is equal to 100 over x. How we get it? We have squared both sides. And then now solving MRS. Now we need to find marginal rate of substitution, and I told you in the previous slides that marginal rate of substitution is equal to minus dy by dx. So it means that we need to take differential of y with respect to x, because we need to take the differential of y. That is why we have brought y on the left hand side. Now how we can take the differential? This is y is equal to 100 over x minus dy by dx is equal to 100 over x square. This 100 over x square is the differential. How you get this differential? No, I'm telling you that the formula of derivative is dy by dx is equals to, if there is a power rule, means that we are taking derivative of x raised to power n, then the derivative would be n x raised to power n minus 1. What it comes, n पावर जो है वो पहले आके मल्टीप्लाई होगी, देन x रेज टू पावर n माइनस 1, पावर में से 1 माइनस हो गया. सो लुक एट दिस 100 इंटू एक्स माइनस 1, ऐसे हम लिख सकते हैं ना, x को हम ऊपर ले जाएंगे. सो 100 मल्टीप्लाई बाय x रेज टू पावर माइनस 1. So what will happen? I have told you that the power will come in the left hand side, will multiply by the coefficient. So 100 multiplied by minus 1 into x raised to power minus 1 minus 1. Got it? What we have done? When we simplify it, y is equal to 100 into x raised to power minus 1. This is the original one. We need to solve it. So what we will do, we have a variable x raised to power minus 1. We need to take the derivative of this x raised to power minus 1. And 100 will come on the left hand side. The coefficient will come beyond the bracket, outside the bracket. So again what we will do, x raised to power minus 1. So minus 1 will come as in coefficient, and we will subtract 1 from the power as well. So 100 multiplied by minus 1 into x raised to power minus 1, that was the original power, minus 1, that is of the formula. So we get minus 100 x raised to power minus 2. By putting in the formula dy by dx, there is a minus sign already in it. So minus multiplied by minus is plus 100 into x raised to power minus 2. So it becomes x 100 over x square. Utility and the marginal rate of substitution. Note that as x rises, MRS falls. When x is 5, MRS is 4. And when x is 20, MRS is 0.25. For getting, it means that for getting more of one, we are sacrificing 4 of other commodity. What it tells, for getting more of one commodity, we are sacrificing 4 of another commodity. Now, marginal rate of substitution. Suppose that is a derivation of the marginal rate of substitution. Therefore, marginal rate of substitution is equal to minus dy by dx. That is, that we have the utility function. Let's suppose that we have the utility function, utility is equal to uxy. So you need to take the total differential. Total differential is differential of utility is equals to, total differential is that you will take the differential of the function with respect to the variable, that is curly u over curly x into dx plus curly over u over curly y into dy. So along any difference of utility, constant is du is equal to 0. Therefore we get that MRS is equal to dy over dx, which is equal to du over dx divided by du over that is curly u over curly x is equal to curly u over curly y. What is marginal rate of substitution is equal to minus dy by dx, and dy is equal to curly u over curly x, and dx is equal to curly u over curly y. So the marginal rate of substitution is the ratio of marginal utility of x to the marginal utility of y. What it says, marginal rate of substitution is the ratio of marginal utility of x to the marginal utility of y. Diminishing marginal utility and the MRS. Intuitively, it seems that the assumption of decreasing marginal utility is related to the concepts of diminishing marginal utility. Diminishing marginal utility requires that utility function be quasi-concave. This is independent of how utility is measured. Diminishing marginal utility depends on how utility is measured. There are two different concepts: convexity of the difference curve, and we will discuss the other one. Suppose that the utility function is utility is equal to under root xy. So we can simply do the algebra by taking the log. When we will take the log, what it becomes, u star xy is equal to, means u is the function of xy is equal to natural log of u xy is equal to 0.5 natural log of x plus 0.5 natural log of y. Now curly u over curly x, it is 0.5, and curly u over curly y. Now curly u is 0.5 and curly x is x, and curly u is 0.5 again, and curly x is y. That means that it is 0.5 over x. Remember that the derivative of natural log is 1 over x, and the natural log of y is 1 over y. So what it comes, 0.5 multiplied by 1 over x plus 0.5 multiplied by plus 0.5 1 over y. But here we need curly u over curly x. So we have taken this function partial derivative with respect to x. So with respect to x, it becomes 0.5 over x, and the second one is 0.5 over y. So if the utility function is x plus xy plus x star, so what would it be? Curly u over curly x. जब अगर आप इसको x के अकॉर्डिंग ले रहे हैं तो आपने सिर्फ और सिर्फ x वेरिएबल को देखना है. So first x variable would say that the derivative is 1, the second one say the derivative is 1 multiplied by y, and the third one is now अब आपने इसमें करना है y को कांस्टेंट परसीव करना है, वो क्या हो जाएगा 0 हो जाएगा. So 1 plus y plus 0, then 1 plus x. बिकॉज अब हम y के अकॉर्डिंग ले रहे हैं तो x कांस्टेंट हो गया, कांस्टेंट का डेरिवेटिव 0 होता है. जिस वेरिएबल का ले रहे होंगे आपने उसी वेरिएबल के अकॉर्डिंग लेना है, बाकी वेरिएबल को आपने एज अ कांस्टेंट सोच लेना है. तो और कांस्टेंट का जो डेरिवेटिव होता है वो 0 होता है. तो अब हम डिनोमिनेटर में y के अकॉर्डिंग ले रहे हैं तो y का 0, इसमें जो x है वो उसका डेरिवेटिव 0 हो जाएगा. देन एक्स वाई के अंदर y का डेरिवेटिव 1 आ गया तो x साथ में मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है, इधर क्योंकि आपसे मल्टीप्लाई हो रहे हैं तो ये कोफिशिएंट बन जाता है और y का डेरिवेटिव 1 आ गया. अगेन एन एग्जांपल दैट एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस वाई स्क्वायर. अब एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस वाई स्क्वायर अगेन आपने इसको पहले x के अकॉर्डिंग लेंगे और फिर y के अकॉर्डिंग लेंगे. जब x के अकॉर्डिंग ले रहे हैं तो ये क्या आएगा, पावर पहले आके मल्टीप्लाई होगी और फिर पावर में से 1 माइनस होगा. सो 2x प्लस 0. Okay, then we need to take it by with respect to y, so that would be 0 plus 2y. Look at this. So 2x over 2y, and when we will simplify it, then 2 will cancel with the other 2. Now there is an example of Cobb-Douglas production function. This is the Cobb-Douglas production function that utility xy is equal to x raised to power alpha and y raised to power beta, where alpha and beta are positive constants. The relative size of alpha and beta indicates the relative importance of the good. Remember that alpha plus beta is always greater than 1. I'll give you an example that let's suppose alpha is 0.6, then beta would be 0.4. This is a Cobb-Douglas production function. The power shows the relative importance. If alpha is 0.6 and beta is 0.4, then alpha is more important than beta. I hope that you understand this lecture. If you have any query, ask me. I will tell you. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.